Good afternoon, everybody. This is day 16 at the table with Joe Hickey. Today we're actually going to talk about boundaries and what it looks like to set them before we start feeling that they're crossed. So how do you set boundaries with yourself in order to set boundaries with others? So for me, I hold myself to a certain standard that when I don't meet that standard, I have this guilt and shame that comes over me that I don't like. That is fear and resentment and anger of a past situation. I'm not living in the moment. So that's a cue for me to go within and find the answer to that question. So to set boundaries with myself is just simply a standard of integrity. How do you build integrity is through a thought. A thought becomes a word then becomes an action, put the brick, and that action then becomes my character. And through performing for my character long enough, it ultimately demands me to have integrity, because my character has integrity through practice, discipline, behaviors of setting boundaries with myself. So to set boundaries with others, I have to set a boundary of what kind of food intake I have in my body. I hold myself to a standard. What type of exercise do I do from day to day? Is it a weight training day, or is it a hot yoga stretching kind of a day? Some days I need a rest day. There's a boundary, and you got to know yourself to when you're being lazy and when you're being productive by resting. So there's a complete yin and yang theory to boundaries. Now, in order to place them on others, there's this fear that we all have inside of us that wants us to not speak our truth to somebody out of some fear of losing them, as if we own them to a certain degree. When I was married to Heather, my wife, her and I had an innate ability to speak our truth to one another until it became too hard because we reached a new level. So there was boundaries that we never set in place for a situation that unfolded that we were unprepared for. So I had to go through that experience and that failure to build what became one of my best friendships of my life with somebody who I respect to the degree that I do her for always being honest with me. Even when she didn't want to and she knew it was going to hurt my feelings, she was able to speak her truth until she hit a level that she couldn't anymore. And now that we have separated and loved each other enough to let go of one another, now we were able to come back and build a friendship from that. Because the whole time we were telling each other the truth. But in the truth, sometimes emotion takes over. And I have to define energy in motion is the definition of emotion. So if I'm receiving information and I'm in a bad mind space, I'm going to receive it in a negative fashion. So to ingest all the negativity that we do, from Cardi B shaking her ass on a dance floor and our 12-year-old daughter's doing it, to me telling somebody that I'm feeling a disconnect from us, I'm starting to think about other women. How do you say that to your spouse? That's your true truth, is I'm disconnected from you. I need to speak to you before I make a mistake. And if I don't tell you, what's going to happen is a mistake's going to happen. And then I got to learn the harder lesson, which is breaking someone who I love's heart by not being able to be honest with the negative thoughts as well as the honest thoughts. So to set boundaries, you must be honest, you must be disciplined, you must be vigilant, and you must stay extremely open-minded to evolve. So how do you set boundaries with yourself? How do you set boundaries with others? How do you set boundaries with your children? I can almost guarantee that you've learned how to set boundaries with other people through setting boundaries with yourself. So why not practice them in every area across the spectrum with every relational experience that we have on this beautiful earth gifted to us by God? So, today's question, boundaries. How do you set them? Have a great day. I'm praying for everybody just to have peace of mind, a calm heart, a full heart of love, and a spirit that knows how to speak its truth because it sacrifices its pain of hurting another to speak its truth. So, love is a verb, not an action word. Love is an action word. It's a sacrifice. Jesus Christ died for us. Therefore, we must die for the ones we love. It's a part of life. You cannot have life without death. Accept the death of people and the relationships just as quickly as you accept the death of your phone falling in the bay. That's a death. You lost that phone. You can replace it quickly. I'm not saying you can replace human beings, but you can build new relationships with your past traumas that turn into beautiful diamonds out of just years of pressure. So God bless you all. Have a great day. And remember, love is not a noun. It's not a person. It's not a place. And it's not a thing. It's something within. It's an action word. I have to put the brick from my love from myself so I can attain it and give it to others. I cannot pour from an empty cup is the theory here. All right. God bless.